Check.
Oh, yeah.
Look at how good he's doing on that. Yep.
Wow, look at
I
that.
clicked it.
It's 11:11.
Is it working?
No, I don't think so.
We're gonna do a prayer for my other friend Amy.
There we go. We live? Yep. Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah.
All right.
Should be on
That's
both.
right. Get your rocks on.
Good job. Yeah. Good job.
We have attention rocks in the back. In case
Awesome.
those online were wondering what that comment was about.
So those of you online, get your intention set for today's
Yes.
talk today. You seem taller.
I seem taller. I'm sitting on my leg. I'm taller. I'm trying to keep my feet
I
warm.
can be taller.
Um,
I'm short running my house now. Even all my children are taller than me now.
I know. Even the little ones are tall.
Even the littles.
the littles are
And the
tall.
hair doesn't help. His hair
Yeah.
is like this tall.
I can make my hair tall too. So I'm with you there.
Oh,
Charlie.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's
Happy
start with
New
that.
Year.
Happy 2024.
Yes, because I haven't seen you guys since last year.
It's been a long time.
And
I feel like it's been a long time.
it's been a very, very long
a whole
time.
year.
And I'm so grateful for all of you who decided to come at 5 a.m. on the 31st and
Wasn't
join
that
us
fun?
for the World Peace
And then the
Foundation.
breakfast afterwards. That
Yes.
was so fun. So if you didn't do that, make sure you think about this. Put it on your calendar now. It's the same. It's the
It's-
last.
you know what? The 31st comes the same time
The
every
same
year.
time every year. Same time. Same
And
bad
now
time.
that we know it's 5 a.m.
yes, now
versus
that we're on
5:30.
time.
Gotta be on time
And
this
have
year.
pizza for breakfast.
I know, right?
I really could.
No, so definitely put that on your calendar. That's one of my favorite things. I know it's yours too. One of the
Yes.
reasons why we were exploring the idea of Sofa Sundays and creating our ministry, we said, well, how fast can we do it? Because we want to make sure we get the candle lighting service, and because we were just had missed that so much. We wanted the candle lighting, and we wanted the peace meditation. So that's what we rushed to get it going, and now we've done it here. So
A second year. I know we're old hat at it now.
we're old. We're so good at it now.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so everybody's got their intention rocks.
Thank you.
There's another thing here, and I want to offer this to my online community as well. Reverend Missy suggested this, and so I brought a big jar in and some Post-it notes. And what I would like is if you have something that you're grateful for this last week, just put your little gratitude in there. Or it can be gratitude. It can be Christmas gratitude.
All
Yes, and it can be anonymous, you can date it, you can not date it, you can date whatever. We're gonna keep that until New Year's Eve next year and see all the things that have happened through
beautiful.
the last 52 weeks. So,
And if
I
you're
just-
online, put in the if you want us to pull it out for you today, you can put it online here. in the
Yeah, and we'll put
comments.
it
I
in
will
for you.
fill it out for you, but it's more fun if you come in person and do it yourself.
Right, 'cause some
Right?
people, like, Chris in Australia
Everybody
might not be
wants
able to
us.
get here,
What?
so,
Come on now.
Yes.
All right. But Anne specifically,
yes.
we're requesting those of you who are local to start coming. Look we've got almost here today. This is coming. You can be a part of the beginning.
There you
Get
go.
here. Yeah.
So,
All right.
I'm ready.
Well, hold on. We are at the
Oh
Unleash
my
Your Life
goodness.
Studios.
It's a new year, I forget everything.
We're at the home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Livington, the home of her practice, and it's called Unleash Your Life Studio. So we're at 7220.
7220 North 16th Street, Phoenix, Arizona 85020. And Suite A, Building 1, but you don't need that information because you'll see our girls on the door.
Girls are on the door. Yes.
So,
So perfect. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Reverend Dr. Michelle Livington, she graciously gives us a donation to support our ministry every single week. Even when we do other things too, she's always like,
yes, she supports us.
I know, I love
definitely. Yes.
And her classes are amazing.
yes.
Exactly. Actually, we just started Best Year Yet 2.0, the grand adventure, yesterday, and it was so amazing.
How many people
So
were here?
amazing. We were packed. We had a class of 29. We had, of that 29, we had 3 online. So the rest were here. That was amazing.
So if you can still get in on it. I mean, if you
Yeah.
weren't here, you can still get. I mean, it's all year long. Just
Right. And we did our heart match yesterday, which was so good.
fun. So there you go. There you go. Stuff going on here. You can look it up on unleashyourlife.us and find out about what Michelle Whittington has going on here regularly because she's got a great practice. I mean, she's our mentor. So one of the big reasons why I would say both of us are sitting here today. So
Absolutely.
all right. I feel like we've done all
right,
the
we
good in
did
the world.
Okay, we've done it all.
Did the housekeeping.
Okay, we did the housekeeping
All the good in
thing.
the world. Yes.
No, who's gonna pray? You or me?
I don't know. Should I? You do it? Sometimes I like how you do it.
All right.
World. You're so good at that. Okay, here we go.
So knowing that this sound continues to vibrate even past what we can hear. Knowing that that vibration is in the divine, that the divine is all around, in, out, through, past, everything, everywhere. And in, as, and through me, and everyone in the sound of my voice and beyond. I speak my word into the law for the highest and best good of this time together, knowing that each person receives exactly what it is that they need, that they have the openness to receive what brings fulfillment to their heart's desire. I bless each and every person here that is online that listens to this later, knowing that they are blessed. And I bless teachers and leaders of all faiths everywhere, knowing that peace abides, that love is the guiding force in each and every one, that this love is real, that this love is unconditional, and this love is made in each and every these leaders and teachers, and that it is uncovered. They are open and able to present themselves to this love. For this, I am so very grateful. I also bless each and every person that is going through maybe the ick that's been happening, that has that appearance of that today, those that are experiencing grief, that lost people in our community. May they each feel the comfort and love of the divine surrounding them, that they know and are held, guarded and guided this day through this time. For this, I am so grateful. I give great thanks, knowing it's already done in the mind of God. So I let it go. I let it go to grow. I call it good. And together we sing.
And
so
it
it
is.
See what I mean? She's
Yes.
good. Oh my goodness. So this is the month of love, and I know people are like, February is the month of love. No, we changed it.
We changed it.
We decided that we want to get ahead of this romantic version of love, which was wonderful.
It is wonderful romantic version of love. No, I'm not silly. I think you should tell people. I think you should
Got
tell.
engaged. That sounded like a studio audience clapping. That was
I
awesome.
know.
Let's do it again. I got engaged.
I told her we should have it on.
Here, this is awesome.
I told her we should have them running on Sofa Sundays. It would up our ratings.
She did. She took
Yeah, that
pictures.
was that was. I said, "Oh, beautiful ring and."
Oh my gosh. No. So yeah, I started the year off pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah.
different, right?
There you
And
go.
right away, it's like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing.
This is what we're doing.
But we talked about this before this happened, that we wanted to, February is always the romantic version of love, but there's so much more to love than that.
Absolutely.
And if we can understand that so much more, the romantic love is so much more, right? We want to kind of get ahead of the idea that comes in February
Right.
and look, so this is why we're doing the book study.
Yes. So yeah. So
mean,
we're talking about love. I'm getting hot
she's
now.
getting one, she's one of them. I know, she's got.
I guess the heater kicked in, I'm not sure.
No, but we decided to do a book study on real love. Some of you have done that before, or maybe it's been a long time, and I think it's always good to have a refresher on this topic. Yes. So what do you think?
So we are going to do this book study after Sofa Sundays, from 12:30 to 1:30, starting the 21st. And it will take approximately, we're thinking 10 weeks. There's 9 chapters. We added an extra week because, well,
We know how our people are.
and we are going to do it in person here as well as doing it Zoom wise for those that are out of state. If you are close by, we do encourage you to come in because that is always better.
And the face catering, maybe providing some refreshments for a class.
There
may
you
be
go.
catering.
And there may be catering. And I was actually gonna say that there, that would be an amazing thing because I know that we generally have done at least one Sunday a month where we've gone out.
Yeah.
And I love food. So let's bring it into us and also dive deep into love.
Let's get ahead of it. Let's
Yeah.
let's make this year the best year. Let's get our minds right around all the things. And I love this book is we're talking about this morning. Like in essence, it's keeping ourselves present, keeping ourselves in this moment. Like let's begin within.
Right.
So the book
Right.
is
So
perfect for that.
when it comes to spiritual principle, we always try to maintain, that consistency of the divine, the love that is, and this being one of the things. And when we say begin within, when we talk about mindfulness, we're talking about staying in that present moment. And there is not a spiritual principle that does not apply to present moment. In the present moment, we are not on fire. In the present moment, nothing is happening, right? And we are just experiencing our breath, our body. Right now, we are not in any kind of fear, So when we say be in the present moment, that is what we're talking about. Like just bring yourself back to what is happening. Where are your feet? I always say that one, but the feet are tucked under me today. So I got one under here, one over there. So so before we get into everything, let me get to the reading because
So everybody got the information for the book study. That's right. That gives you
Right.
time to get your books.
That's
and
good.
then
And
the brand new ones, you can get them on Amazon.
yeah, I think they're like $15.
I would do it
on the
today.
used one.
Because it can take a week to
It
14
did-
days to get
It did take a little bit for me to get mine,
So
so
do it
I would
soon.
say that.
I'll probably have the book because we did this years ago, a couple different.
Mine's still I ordered again. Yeah. So that's why we're giving you, 2 weeks
Oh,
to
yeah,
find
that's
it, get it, and to read it. So what we would like to do is at least one chapter a week. So at this point, it would be the introduction and chapter. Also
For the 21st.
for the 21st.
discussion.
Also available on the Kindle, on Audible, however else that you're able to do that. Okay, so, and for those of you online who have no idea, it's called Real Love, Greg Bear, B-A-E-R. And so, because
like this.
it looks like this, but I don't know.
There are
you can
different
see.
versions, and if this one goes really well, you may run through the other one.
One of the
There's
other
a
ones.
marriage one, which it doesn't even have to be married to go through it. You can just do it with a significant other, or because you would like a significant other. And there's this parenting one also. So God bless you. So you don't have to be a parent to still want to understand how to relate to younger people and vice versa. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll see if there's a need for the other two books, because they all teach that same basis, but with different, combinations of relationships.
Right, different focuses, right. All right, so you have your card. Loving myself and others is my goal every day.
That's the fruit of the world.
I had my stuff on there. So we
That's
probably
why. So today's reading comes from page 108 of the Affiliated New Thought Network's book. Oh, here's a new thing. I just started a new class at Emerson, and this is my class.
Oh my goodness.
Is
You're like,
this
you already
book.
know.
Yeah, so yes, it's very awesome. So all right, this one is called Love Has a Purpose. When the goal is to love, every day has meaning. Fran Grace, PhD, The Power of Love. A transformed heart changes the world. Beloved, let us love one another. For the love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. 1 John 4:7, King James Version. Why am I here? What is my purpose? What is mine to do? These and many more questions will be answered later today. No. These and more are the questions that regularly bounce and skitter through our minds, making us question whether we are good enough, smart enough, courageous enough, or any of the other enoughs we continually ponder. The truth is, we are already enough because we are individualized expressions of the one love. If this is true, and it is, all that is left for us to do is to make loving our personal self and others our goal. When love is the goal, your life is automatically filled with purpose and meaning. Loving myself and others is my goal every day. Reverend Pamela P.J. Stanley, New Thought, Fort Worth, Texas. PJ, I love PJ. So thank you, Reverend PJ. That it goes right into real love.
Sure.
Talking about loving ourselves and loving the other. You know, and I don't know, we should have been recording our conversation earlier. because we were just like talking all about this in reference to what happens when we, so people are like, well, what's the difference between real love and not real love, right? Yeah. He calls it fake love,
Fake love,
right? And I do like the term conditional and unconditional love.
That's the difference right
Yes, and that's the difference, right? And conditional love is something I think, we were talking about how we get put in the program. The program is if you do things right, I love you, right? Your parents, right? Like if you do this, oh, you're such a good girl. Oh, you're such a good boy. If you don't do this, and it's like, oh, I'm so disappointed, right? Like how many times, when we heard a parent or a teacher say the word, I'm disappointed.
That was the worst thing for my mother to say to me.
Right?
That was literally would have been the worst thing. It was like a stabbing in your heart.
Yeah.
Right. Because he talks about that when we do that to each other or our children, you're translating that as I don't love you. That's the vibration of the feeling or whatever is behind that. Like I might not say she doesn't love you, but it's the feeling of that. And it's so painful that you do everything you can to not ever have that, not that.
Who wants to feel
Whatever
that
you
way?
can.
Yeah.
Right.
So then that's what we do, right? So I don't want my mom or my dad or my teacher or my partner or my boss to be disappointed. So I'm going to take whatever it is that I need to do to make sure they're not disappointed in me.
How many? We all know this one, right? We're all
Right,
like,
like, People pleaser 101.
Right.
There you
We
go.
could teach a whole class.
A whole class.
A whole
on
class
that,
on that one.
And my motto today is you can't please everyone, you're not hummus. Okay, so or pizza or tacos, whatever your favorite is, right? But I really thought I could, and
Well, did you
make
really
them
think,
happy.
did you sit there and think, I can please everyone, or was it the avoidance of not?
Oh, that's my business. Nah, I'm a people pleaser avoider.
Trying
Who's
to not feel
Who's a
that.
victim and controller?
That's where it
Hi.
is. I mean, because, like I was telling you earlier today, really, we should have just recorded our whole conversation. But like, I have a son who just turned 32 yesterday. Happy birthday, Jordan. I know you watched this. He's not 15 was the first time I came across Real Love, and Greg Bear was coming to Clear Living Fellowship, to give a talk, and there was a big flyer talking about real love with parenting and this whole thing. He just released that book. And I remember just for whatever, obviously, well, now that I think about it, I was having a little bit of distancing from Jordan at that time, feeling like we were kind of having that distancing. That actually naturally happens in teenagers. But I was feeling like I was starting to be really ineffective as a parent, and he was withdrawing from me. And I just didn't feel like even when I was telling him what to do and I was, doing my normal parenting stuff, he would just kind of be like, okay. He was really withdrawing. It was so this real love and parenting thing came up, and I thought, oh, I think we'll check that out. And I did. And what I realized was had been feeding this precious child of mine for 15 years of his life, fake love, conditional love. I'd been feeding that to him, and he had learned how to get that because I wasn't giving him real love. Well, all of us will take fake love in replacement of real love. If we're not getting real love, we'll take the replacement. And the number one replacement for real love is praise. So my son had learned to be a straight A student. So whenever I told him to do something, he did it. He had learned how to avoid my anger, how to avoid my disappointment, how to avoid that by being as perfect as he could be. And that, I think when he got to be around 15, it was just darn exhausting to live like that. So it was better to try to not engage with me at all. Just kind of withdraw into himself and maybe do nothing to tip me either way.
Right.
Because the problem with fake love is you need more and more and more. It doesn't ever satisfy. It's never going to be enough. So it was really a hard pill to swallow, taking that, going to that seminar or whatever it was, thing that we did, and learning that I had been doing that his entire life, unbeknownst to me, because that's how my parents were. Right. And I'm thinking, this child is perfect, right? This child is a straight A+ student, like not even an A- was his lowest grade his entire career. And I could take him to a restaurant, even as a young child, to a restaurant, he would sit like a gentleman the whole time. And you would see like the kid in the food next door jumping around, whatever, and I could see his face like almost like, I wish I could do that, but I can't do that because I remember saying to him, this is why I take you places with me, because you don't act like that. This is why I remember saying this literally to him. This is why you can go with me anywhere I go. I take you everywhere with me because you know how to do it. This is why. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm teaching this man, I'm being a great mother. Look at him, look at what I have created. And then to find out that, oh no, you just created somebody who figured out how to feel loved by you because all your messaging was, I don't love you much for this, I don't love you much for that, I don't love you for that. But it explained a lot. And even today, he'll say, there was a lot of trauma being your son. And at the time, I was a single mom and he was a only child. So I knew if something got broken or something was right, I already knew it was. It's him. So he got all of this redheaded mother, single mother. Just imagine, you can put all that imagery there. He was the only one to receive that person, unfortunately. Today, there are 3 children in the house. So if I lose my mind over something, I can't tell who did it. I don't know. They can all just say, I didn't do it. I don't know. That kind of diffuses my, and there's 3 of them. So they're not all getting all of it by themselves. And I've grown. God. Although True's probably going, no, but so I think Jordan would say, and he has said to me in this past year actually, that he had a lot of trauma in that. But and then as I start to feel bad, I go, that turned out all right. I'm okay. It doesn't sound like that. So that's a hard thing to deal with. But I have grown and I have learned. And so I try in these relationships now to do my best. But real love was a turning point for me, I think, in all of this, a lot of my spiritual understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Real love made me see everybody in a different way. That we're all trying to find, but even if we can't have that, we will take whatever feels closest to it. And that's a tough thing.
And you will see that, especially with children, you'll see that. But you will see that in adults too.
Yeah.
For many situations, and not just relationships that are, intimate relationships or friendships and stuff, but at work. There, you will see that. as a lot of you know, I've been off for a little bit, recovering. And
From what though, for our new people in the house?
I had my right knee replaced. I had right knee replaced and doing well now. So before I left work, I had a little get together, luncheon, and just thanking them for taking over and doing this stuff. And the comment that I made that I thought was that they all agreed with so quickly was, I said something along the lines of me being a little high strung.
Don't you love it when you say something like that and nobody
Right.
disagrees with you? You're like,
and you really wanted people to say, "Oh, you no,
And they're all like, "Oh, you? Yeah, yeah." And
rude.
it is.
How rude is that?
Not as rude as the meme I read the other night that said, women are no longer golden girls. Thanks for
Stop
being a
that.
friend.
Stop that.
So anyway, that was rude.
That's rude.
Yeah. So that to me, when I was reading, I'm sorry, there is a lot of conditionality, right? I need you to do your job so I can do mine.
You just do your job.
You do your job so I can do my job. However, there is how we're dealing with human beings, right? That's the biggest thing. Right? Everybody is doing the best they can with what they have. And so that was something that touched on me that, now that I've had kind of like a little reset going back to work, bringing that into, what would possibly be a changer.
Right. Yeah, I think there's even real love in the workplace. I think there's even I think he even has a book on that because one of the things he says, and I don't know if you've gotten to it yet, but he says, if you look at somebody who now when people drown, they don't really look like the movies, right? But imagine the movie version of somebody drowning where they're splashing around the whole thing. Now remove the water. When you see somebody act like that, that's somebody who's starving to death of real love. That's what a temper tantrum or child behavior. That's what you see adults lose their minds. Those are people who are starving for real love, and that's something we're going to definitely be getting to in this month. But yeah, I think a lot of us, our love scores are really not full, and we're trying to operate like that. And when you are made of love, and love is what our purpose is, and love is what we're here to be doing, that's hard to operate like that. It's like we need sleep. When we don't get sleep, what do we act like? It's awful, right? So we need to have our love scores filled so that we are operating at our highest capacity.
Right.
With
In
real
everything.
stuff, real love,
Right. Real
not
love.
the fake stuff.
And so that's what he said. This is on page 22. It says, in the absence of real love, we attempt to fill our emptiness with imitation love, which comes in 4 forms: praise, power, pleasure, and safety. And like you were saying about the praise being the first one there. And so this is like
It's
real stuff.
serious book, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a game changer for relationships, for yourself. You can turn all this out on when you're reading this book. You're not reading it thinking of anybody else. You're reading it about yourself. So that's another thing too. You're not going, oh,
So and so needs to read
No,
this.
no. Yeah, you may get that, but try to stay focused on just yourself and see this in yourself because guaranteed you are operating from the lack of it. And that can help you to figure out how do you get that. And it's great. His solutions really work.
Right. And that's why it's so important for those of you that will be joining the book study to read the introduction.
Yeah.
Because
Don't
he
skip it.
tells
Don't skip
you how he got here. Right. And he was somebody who definitely dealt with grief. Right. By the end of his 30s, he was a successful doctor who had a beautiful home, a beautiful wife, kids, everything. And became addicted and wound up at one point in, oh, should I give it away? I'm going to give it away. Wound up at one point in the forest with drugs with him because he was unhappy. So, when we're talking about, you can look at somebody and on paper, right? They have all the things, all the whatever that the world said will make you successful. This will make
And
you
will make you
happy,
happy.
and
And then you're still not happy. You
and
get it
you're
all.
Still not.
This is what midlife crises come from, right? This is why people have midlife crisis. They'll do all the things. They'll check off all the boxes. Everything they told me, I'll get the college degree, I'll get the spouse, I'll have the kids, I'll have the house, I'll have the job, I'll have the car. And I'm still not happy.
Right.
How am I still not happy?
That's what Tara
And
just
they
said.
lose it. They
You know,
lose it.
because it's still outside of you, right? And
And you're starving. You're just
Where's
starving to
my love?
death. You're starving to death with fake love. All that's just fake imitation versions. That's actually what's not fake. Imitation of love, of real love. That's all that is. Not that you shouldn't be successful and have, but you should do from the inside. That shouldn't be what makes you feel good. You know. So
right, the difference between margarine and butter, people.
I mean, come on. There's a difference.
There's a difference. And I'll tell you, don't cook with plastic. Okay.
Yes.
So, going from the science, and those of you that were on,
This is
I gotta
how-
be
If your books don't, if
If
your
your
science
science
and
and
my
mine
book
book
doesn't
doesn't
look like
like
this, my Bible looks like this too, actually. So my Bible is,
no, you know
Keep
what?
buying new ones. as
My
they come.
Bible has a good cover on it.
oh, my Bible does too, but my Bible is all like color, I mark it, yeah. So
So,
both books are like all messed up, but that's okay. That means you're using them.
Exactly. So here, page 478, Science of Mind, love. And it actually comes from the Bible too. So
There it is.
John 13, 34 and 35. Love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself. It is written that God is love and that we are his expressed likeness, the image of the eternal being. Love is self-givingness through creation, the impartation of the divine through the human. Love is an essence, an atmosphere which defies analysis, as does life itself. It is that which is and cannot be explained. It is common to all people, to all animal life, and evident and responsive plants to those who love them. Love reigns supreme
Amen.
over all.
Amen.
The essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything, fires the heart, stimulates the emotion, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. Only love knows love, and love knows only love. Words cannot express its depth or meaning. A universal sense alone bears witness to the divine fact. God is love, and love is God.
And even the word love is not enough. What is the Aramaic that has like what 18 million
Yes,
words
we were
for
talking
love?
about that too. Yeah.
Facet, like you can't even really get it all the way, but doesn't at any rate, loving myself and others is my color day. Myself has to come first. I have to develop.
I think they all fell out of it.
Mhm.
I'm a card thief.
But last month we talked a lot about self-care and self-love, like taking care of ourselves. And this is the ethics part of it where we have to start in here before we can get out there. Why it's so important to read this book for yourself. Not reading it for anybody else. You're reading it for the love of yourself and that awareness. And so I think we always talk about that. Everything is beginning within. And
Right.
to Tara's point, it's all those other things are out there. Not that they're not great to have. I think it's wonderful. Like, someone says, well, so-and-so bought a Bentley, they're just spending money. Like, yeah, but that Bentley is multiple jobs, someone else's dream, I don't care. If you can afford it, go get it. But don't make that be what makes you feel like you're worth something. Let that be like, woo, I'm gonna go get that. Yay, I did that. Like, good for you. Have it. But don't let it be like your source. That's not real. That's
Right.
imitation, right?
And that I think happens a lot, that people say, when I have, or when I experience, then I am at this good enough
And
place.
I'll be at peace, and I'll be
Yeah.
happy,
Yeah.
and I'll be enough, and I'll be good enough for whatever.
Right.
No, you already are it. You
You
already
already
are love.
are
I
it.
just said, in the Bible, in Signs and Mind, we already are that which we are.
Right. Thank you,
You're it
Renee.
already. I'm doing my best.
I love it. It's
I love how
all
one of my favorite is your heart knows the way. What's the one thing? I lost it. run in that direction or whatever, whether your heart goes away, run in that direction. It's close.
It's close.
Sounds close. But anyway, Rumi's got a lot of love stuff.
Yes, I love that. If you're interested in Rumi, .com has a Year of Rumi.
Really?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. So that's why you see a lot of Rumi quotes lately.
Year of Rumi.
yes,
I
Year
love
of
that.
Rumi.
Can you put that in the, we'll put that in the, post that in the group?
I will post that.
All right, Facebook group, just gonna post that in the group. 'Cause that's cool. Rumi's awesome.
Year of Rumi. All right, it's that time. It's a time to ask the question. My question is.
Oh, not a
A
question.
question. I love questions. My question is, what are you willing to give up as invitation love to receive and give the love?
Oh. Starting out the new year tough, are we?
Yeah, you know. I've been working on heart maps and vision boards and all kinds of
She's
things.
all riled up.
And to me, that always means about something that I'm bringing forward. But in order to bring something in, to get room, right? Why I always clean my closets at the end of the year is so that I can have,
Look at me, I'm paying attention. This guy's
Oh,
awesome.
you're
Good
good.
job, True.
Okay, now where's the question?
you
I think what I would need to give up is the need to please that if I'm doing that and it's genuine, that's great. But if I'm doing it because I feel a little empty, and if I please you, you'll think I'm cool. So I think that's what I would need to give up to understand that I need to fill that hole myself.
I love that.
I have been giving up the,
Oh, they close
Just a little closer.
Oh,
Yeah, that would
I've been giving up trying to have relationship where I can only have relatedness and learning the difference between the two. I've been exhausting myself trying to have relationships with certain friends that I realize now, like, I will only have relatedness with. And I think in giving up that trauma to keep building relationship, I've opened myself to receiving other types of relationship, other more fulfilling connections with people. So yeah.
I love it. So spending your energy in areas that are not receiving it, and then that way that energy can now be refocused into people that would be receptive to relationships.
Right.
I love that. That's a great awareness. What else feeling?
So for me, I would also have to give up that, when they're talking about the praise and the power and the, but Anne hit it. That's one of the big ones to let go of and know. So for me, in order to be genuine, 'cause I love to give. I'm a giver. I that's the thing, right? But it's got to be authentically because I want to give to you versus wanting to be cool. Okay? I have a friend who is hurting right now, and I thought of this really cool thing that I wanted to give her that would be outside of my financial comfort and would be something that I would get a lot of kudos for. And so I had to ask myself, so why is it that you want to do that? Is that because this is really something that you wish to get? Or is that because you will get the praise or the acknowledgement for it? And so, that's a new thing for me to question that. Yeah.
That's a big one. Those awarenesses.
Okay, Ditto.
While we're your tribe, girl.
Big one for me, the praise thing. But that also goes along with what I was going to say, which is the need to have a work product that's absolutely perfect. What happens is I get praise for it, but I also have expectations of other people to come up to the standard that I've set for myself. And I have to let go. I've had therapists tell me you can't expect others to do exactly what you do. And it makes me angry, it makes me mad, and so I give it up or I'm going to drive myself crazy.
I agree. I totally agree. Good job, Drew. You know, yeah, I could say you did a lot of these things too. And mine is similar, except that mine will be perfectionism to stalling out, right? So like where wanting it to be so perfect that I can't put something out there because I have that fear it's not going to be good enough or perfect. It won't be received. So one of the things that I have learned over the past, since I started my podcast, it was 2020, I think I started this, was to push myself to do that was really hard because I was putting myself out there vulnerably to, put out the things that I think about, right? And then how will that be received? So Russell Brunson actually, I don't know if you guys know what ClickFunnels are, but he wrote 3 books around ClickFunnels. And one of the things that he said was that your message is not for everyone. And you need to understand that. To let it go that everyone's going to like your message. But the fact is that you have a message just because people are calling out for that message. And you denying them, when you don't put your message out there, you're denying them your message. And I thought, oh my gosh, so because you're afraid that this group won't like it, you don't put it out at all. And the people that are needing it and calling out for it, which is why it's on your heart to do it, don't get it at all. So how is that right or fair? That's actually wrong, So it's like, oh my gosh. So it caused me to push through what I would normally stall out and not do, to not be perfect. I'm just going to have to be me. I'm going to have to take a step forward into something I've never done. No one else is teaching me to do it. I'm just doing it all by myself. And if it's awful, it's awful. But somebody out, the reason why I want to do it because somebody out there is asking for that. And it worked. It actually worked really well. So I'm doing it again in a new business thing that I'm doing. So there's a lot of me that keeps talking like that. Those people, and I just go, you just be quiet because I'm not for those people. Then I'm for who. So I invited every female focused thing. So I invited every female that I had on different things, and I thought, okay, so as I'm like, how like you do like, no, I should invite so and so because they're you're inviting them. You're not quantifying or qualifying. I'm inviting, and then it's either for them or not, and that's part of that perfectionism that will keep you paralyzed because you're trying to be perfect for everybody. You only need to be out there for the people that need you. And they'll hear your message, whether it's perfect or not. If it's on your heart, it's because something in the world is asking you to step in and do that. So let go of it needing to be perfect or needing everybody to like it. You don't need everybody to like what you're doing. That's hard.
That is, and actually, I think that's one of my stories in the New Mansion book. Actually, was about the fear of Social Sundays being that. Right? We're not your mama's church.
Right.
It's not what everybody
It's gonna
want. And
we could come in here on a Sunday and nobody could be here. And we do it anyway.
And we've had the experience where we've had one person.
Right.
And
we have a lot of people in the room.
Right. And, so there are times where, especially last year, where I was like, oh, what are we doing? And so there is that fear. And then as we kept going and, hearing from our online community and our in-person community, and we have reached out to partner with other communities that are like-minded. And so bringing in that spirit of who we are authentically, what we said the first time we ever got out there, we said, okay, You ain't gonna like everything we have to say. You're not
We
gonna
might
like
not
it.
like everything.
We're not
we
gonna
do,
like
but-
everything each other says.
But that was a real clear thing we had to
Yes.
say to each other because
We are very, I mean,
we're very similar. So far, we've not really had a.
no, but if you were to interview us about things outside of spirituality, we
We're
are very different in that aspect. So we did have a concern that we would have clashes, that there would be things where we would see it differently, and then that would cause us to have issues. And I am so grateful that that has not been the case. You know?
Right, but we still said we have to be honest about that. We have to be, we came into this going, we both want to love it.
Mhm.
Like, I'm glad you guys are all here, but if you weren't here, I think that's what keeps us in check is do we still love it? Yes, we
Yes.
love it. So even if nobody shows up, we're still doing broadcast because
yeah.
we love it. We feel this pull to do it. And so that was one thing, but the other thing was that we had to be able to be authentic and we have to, for everybody listening, there's a reason why you're being called to do it is because we have something to put out there and it has to be honest. It can't be like, well, I'm gonna make it perfect so that everybody likes it. No, I have to make it
Right.
authentic and as honest as possible, as honest as I can and as vulnerable as I can be so that the people that it's for can hear me. And some people might not like it, and that has to be
And that
okay.
has to be okay.
Even if it's you,
Yeah.
or vice versa. I have to be okay with that because there will be people that will touch and that will help, and that's what we said,
Yes,
which is
and
so
that-
freeing.
Exactly, because we both have been in ministry before here.
Yeah.
And we have not, I'll speak for myself, I have not felt for it.
No,
I have,
me too.
I have felt like it was an additional job.
and even other leaders that we saw, you
Right.
could tell we were playing
Yes.
a part or
And-
trying to posture in a way that everybody was happy with it.
And I don't ever want my message to be, this is another job.
No.
Right?
You're not getting me up on a Sunday morning to come over here and be
Right?
miserable. I'm not doing it.
Exactly,
I'm coming excited to be
exactly.
here. I can't
I'm
wait
gonna
to be
have
here.
fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to
and-
be here.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how we got off that.
No, I think it's all relevant. So I think that's all, yeah.
Yeah.
I think as we look for where's the love in that, is it still a love thing? Is it still coming from within? I'm not looking for validation out here.
Sure.
Looking for it in here, and aligning with you on, there's a love there. There's something else there that's driving it, you know? I think that's all relevant to it.
Yes.
Yeah, especially to your question. What do you let go of? You let go of needing validation. You
Right, the
align
praise,
with,
the power.
yeah,
What
yeah.
was the other one? There's praise, power, and I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Pleasure and
Yeah.
safety.
Yeah.
So
For me, it's always been praise. Praise
safety is a big one too, though.
Yeah, because you feel the fear of somebody leaving you, the fear of,
Like
you know,
abandonment.
yeah,
If I'm gonna make sure everything's okay, so you don't leave me. Right?
Don't say something.
I'm not gonna say something that makes you leave me, or I don't say something that makes you fire me, or something along those lines, right? So the safety is very important.
Right.
Those are our basic needs, right? I need to be, sheltered. I need to have food. I need to have a job. I need to be loved. And that love part there.
Maslow's hierarchy.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it is so true. That
Right.
is so true.
And you can't, I'm glad you said that, and said about Maslow's hierarchy, because you can't move on that unless you're needing that, in that area. So and I'm sure this is like wherever you live as well. In the city of Phoenix, in our city, we have so many.
Yeah.
And some of it is because we have no homes available. Some of it is because we don't have affordable housing available. Some of it is because we don't have programs available for people who are, over a certain age that don't make enough money to live in even the worst areas of our towns. And, now, how do you reach them with, let me talk to you about real love. How do you reach somebody who is living
Survival mode.
right in survival mode? And let me talk to you about manifesting your dreams, right? Great. We have to meet that need where it's at, right? Food, shelter, warmth, you know, like that there. And once those needs are met, now we can talk about maybe about the next step of how we get you, you know, self-sufficient, you know, into a new level there. So I guess that like the reason that came up for me is like we always need to meet people where they're at in terms of unconditional love, right? My daughter and I were talking about this on the way here, and I said one of the biggest things that I want to make sure that people know, because one of these definition of unconditional love is the happiness of the other without it being conditional on
I get something in
on
return,
you.
yeah.
And I said it's really important to remember that that is not codependency. We're not talking about making the happiness of another, like, you know, an addict is happy when they get their drug of choice. I'm not talking about enabling them to do that. You know, that's not the happiness we're talking about there. So to be very clear on love being a real freedom in that.
Well, and if you're talking about the addict too, you're also talking about, I love you, whatever choice you make.
Right.
I'm not going to continue the drug to make you, but I love you. Whatever option you choose, I'm still going to love you. And I'm just here. I don't have to, you're not going to walk over my boundaries. I'm not saying that, but I can still just love in an unconditional way.
Right. Right. What you were saying about, so did you tell the story? Where it was just to me about the dishes. Did you tell that story?
I don't remember. Well, with Jordan.
With Jordan.
So when I no, didn't tell that. So when I came back from that seminar with Greg Baer, Real Love, and I thought I'm going to try. This really worked. Try his way of dealing with my kid. And one of the things that he said was, you know, when you have to discipline, for example, there's no emotion there. It's not, I love you or I don't love you. There's no emotion there. It just is what it is. This didn't get done. So I tried that. So I went home and he did the dishes that I'd asked him to do, which normally I've been furious because, you know, I asked him a couple times. I expected to be done. And I would have lost my mind over that. And I would have said all these things. So instead I came home and I went in this room. I said, hey, son, how you doing? He was like, fine, you know. And I said, I noticed that you, so no emotion. I noticed that you didn't do the dishes like I asked him. He looks up because he's ready for it. I could see it in his face. It was so weird. He looks up like this, and I said, so what I'd like for you to do is to please get up now and go get those dishes done. If they're not done in the next 30 minutes, I said, whatever the consequence, then this is going to happen. And you understand that. And he goes, yeah. His face was so weird. He was like, yeah. I said, okay, cool. Okay. And I walked out of the room and he just was like this, like, who is this woman that just came home? Like, what was that? I don't even know what that was. So it was incredible to see the difference. He had just gotten real love. It was that easy. And it's not always easy because sometimes I'm just set off. He's like, oh, I'm listening. But for the most part, I try to keep myself like that, but it's not easy. It's not.
Right. There's other programs to help you with that. You can like use positive intelligence and
Like,
stop
I got
yourself from
Okay, nobody
experiencing-
did the dishes like I asked.
experiencing the poop maker.
Yeah.
Massage.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Side
Yeah.
chores.
I mean, sometimes I still just, if I'm not tired, really busy, the life is moving fast, I can get set off pretty fast. So that's another part of like knowing myself, loving myself, slowing it down, when I'm dealing with other human beings so that I'm coming from a place that I want to come from. So it's a practice every single day, especially if you're programming with something else. True.
And maybe even when you're not dealing with other human beings, but what you were just saying, it sounds like you, in situations like that, you need to slow down just for yourself and love yourself
Right.
and not just do it when other human beings are involved.
Yeah, because they're setting me up. When you read this book, they're setting me up because my love stores aren't full. Because you can prove it to yourself on days where your love stores are good. When you're driving down the freeway and someone cuts you off or someone's and you go, yeah, go ahead, I'll slow down. It's not a problem. But other days, if someone does that, even half of the left, and you lose it. And that's because your love stores, like you're just haven't cared for yourself, your love stores aren't good, or whatever. It's amazing to watch yourself. When you read the book, you start to see yourself and you're like, wow, that's why I kind of want the refresher, because all these things we teach really on the sofa are practices every day. You almost have to like write a list and remind yourself every day, because the old programming that you had from childhood takes over. It's so immersed in our society, on the news, on other people. It's just immersed. And so if you're not constantly trying to unprogram yourself and move from these new practices, they're just
Oh,
old, they just kick in.
The
Before you know it.
the automatic comes back.
Yeah. It's incredible how it goes, yeah.
Exactly. You know, as a physical example of that, right? So Brittany's great, right? Brittany works well.
That's her nickname for her right
My
hand.
right, Brittany, say it like Brittany. So I have been conditioned over the last decade on how to walk up and down steps. So my automatic thing is take a step, bring the other foot down, take a step, bring the other foot down. I can now walk one foot after the other up and down steps, but I have to think about it.
Isn't that funny?
I have to actually make a mental, you're walking up and down steps now, and
Please walk appropriately.
yeah, exactly. Because if I'm just going, and I'll get like down 2 steps and I'll go, oh, I'm doing it again. And, so it's amazing how we train ourselves, or how we've been trained to do things to keep ourselves from hurting. Remember that. That's why we
That's
do the
good.
things we do.
So good. So
We're
good.
doing the things that we do to keep ourselves from hurting. I said Jordan learned how to do those things to keep himself from mom's disappointment, right? And receive the praise. Right? So the things we do, so don't beat yourself up when you go back to that automatic situation there, because this is something that we do to keep ourselves safe.
I agree. And feeling loved. We just want to feel that which we are. No.
Oh, this was good.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything,
Anything
else they would
else?
like to
Oh,
add?
very good.
I got a hand raised over here.
I was actually, before we started, I was looking over this list of stuff from care. And what kind of fits in is, the more you love yourself, the less nonsense you'll tolerate. I love that.
The more you love yourself, the less nonsense you'll tolerate. I love it.
I told my daughter when she was 19, I said, careful what you accept at 19. Never believe what you'll accept by 40. And, at the time you're going to be so well, but so true, right? Is that we will continue to accept and accept until it's too much nonsense there.
Very good. Well, I'm glad. That was perfect. All right. I guess we're ready. Let's close out. Oh, let's take a deep breath. All that love stuff. Breathe it in and release anything unlike it. Come into this moment. Come into this moment where there's only, recognizing there's only one power. There's only one source, only one God, one energy, one love. That love is each one of us is the perfect, whole and complete manifestation of that one love, of that one energy, that one power, that one source. We are each that in our own unique and precious way, bringing what is ours to bring to this world. And from that knowing, knowing that as I do, the law of God can only save us. And so I know that as each of us aligns with that truth, as each of us allows ourselves to be that love, we find our purpose. We feel and hear our calling. We know what is ours to do. We align with that. We allow it to come forth. We allow ourselves to love more of what we are first and bring it to others every day. So grateful for that. So grateful for the knowing that we can just allow it to be. And so I let it go, knowing, trusting that it's already done in the mind of God. And together we say,
It is.
oh my goodness.
Thank you.
So good. I love it. I love talking about love. I love
talking
love
about love.
and I love talking about love.
I love love.
Is there a song like that? I love love.
I'm sure.
Something. There's some song.
I'm sure it's a country song.
Yeah, probably.
We'll have to. We'll
I
have
know.
to check that out and
We'll
get you to
find-
sing it.
I don't know about that. I'll have to put on my country voice for
That's
that.
right. You could do a whole Reba thing.
I
see
could
it.
do with some Reba.
I could say it.
I like me some Reba.
So, thank you for joining us today. And if
Oh,
you would like to support us, please go to beginwithinministries.com. You can become a spiritual church club partner for $45 a month, or for a family or a couple, $75 a month. And that helps you to become part of
You know you
our
want your mug.
community
You know you want your mug.
of mugs. And you also get a lovely sofa charm, and you get to be part of the things that we do on a regular basis for free. So that brings me into the book study. The book study for our partners is free. It'll be $10 if you come in person, and if you do online, it'll be $95 for the 2 months. So it's cheaper to join us.
It is. Just join
I'm
us.
just saying.
Join us and see
And
what
you
it's
get
like
a
to be a
mug.
spiritual church club
Right.
partner. Get your mug.
Get your mug.
Get all the things. And then you get your name badge.
And then you get your name badge.
which
Here's
I'm
my
not
name
wearing
badge.
today, but
And so, no, not yet.
Not yet.
No, I'm still talking.
we're still
We're
talking.
still talking.
But yeah,
And-
so there are benefits
yes.
to being a spiritual church club partner, and we're growing this community. One of the ways that we can grow is financial support. So that's why we appreciate that financial support that we
Absolutely.
get from our partners, that we get, even just if it's just a donation today, we really appreciate that. That's how we do our cards. That's how we create the things we create, and we can do the book clubs and the courses that we create.
And
So
we do have many things coming up this year. So I just,
No.
you know,
we're gonna
um,
love on everybody this year.
yeah.
So excited.
So, yeah. So we just want you to be prepared for the fun.
I know. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being here in person. I love seeing so many wonderful faces, and the audience clapping is fabulous. I love
Right.
it. I
Yes.
know. Studio live from our studio
studio
audience.
Yes. Is that all we got? It's the same.
I feel like it.
Look forward on our Facebook page, and we will
Yes.
have this. And if you are on our mailing list, you will also get a Begin Within Ministries email in reference to the class.
The
So
class for sure. Yeah. Thank you, True, for being here today. You're doing a great job, buddy.
thank you, sir.
Good job. So we love everyone. Have a great
Have a
rest of your
great
Sunday.
night.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
I love it.